you get here? And since when have you been hiding in the cloakroom like a wee dormouse? The same amount of time precisely, I would venture to guess. Did you bother to greet anyone on your hasty way through the foyer? Anyone at all? Heavens, if I didn't know any better, I would dare say you think yourself above the rest. Only teasing. It's just that I am all too aware of how desperately everyone wishes to enjoy your company. It's no good of you depriving them like this. But do what you must. Your happiness is of the utmost value to me always. All the rest can go kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. A fresh glass of giggle juice, just for you, my dear. Well, it was just for me, but the past is the past. That should be enough to get you ready for chatting up and dancing about. Or at the very least, loosey-goosey enough to offer me riveting conversation and lively debate. And in that very spirit, who the hell invited you? Not to interrogate, I just was hoping we might have some familiar friends between the two of us. Could swap gossip and all that. Well, not gossip, really, just colorful chatter. That never hurt anyone, did it? Well, with the singular exception of that time, word got around awful quick that Mrs. Millie Baker was cavorting with Miss Emily Baker's ex-fiancé. Quite the scandal. Yes, her very own sister. Could you even fathom such a thing? Positively wretched. And as we live and breathe, Miss Emily seems to be getting awful cozy with Millie's husband on the balcony, exacting revenge, it would seem. Now then, enough about those silly Bakers and their lovers' quarrels. How are you, my dear? Would I be awfully amiss to say that you do seem a bit down? Oh, goodness, do tell me all about it. You know you're the only one in all the world I keep my lips sealed for. Of course, it was Charlie, that insufferable little dewdropper. He said what? To you? On your way through the door. No wonder you went straight back for the coat room. Well, you'll have to excuse me a moment. I must slit his throat this very instant. You know I wouldn't be caught dead without a switchblade in my clutch. No? Well, then you must at least allow me to toss my drink onto that atrocity of a vest. An affront to God, that thing is. I mean olive green with orange, I don't think. A splash of burgundy would be nothing short of a favor. A welcome distraction from that wretched mug of his, I dare say. Well, you always were the kinder of the two of us. If you truly mean it, I suppose I'll leave him be for the time being. But if he dares utter another word of you, I swear I'll have him tossed over that balcony in an instant. I never do shy away from causing a scene, murder or otherwise, especially where a good friend is concerned. I certainly won't mind spending the rest of our evening as far away from Charlie as we can manage. We do have plenty to drink, so I think we best busy ourselves back here. What do you say? Perfect. First venture being, it looks as though your face is in need of a little touching up. Nothing terribly amiss, of course, just could do with a fresh sweep of the lipstick, touch of blush, perhaps even a flash of mascara, just to really open up those gorgeous doe eyes of yours. How does that sound? How exciting. I do appreciate your trust in my talents. I can heartily assure you it is not misplaced. I don't believe we've spoken of this before, but before my rapid success in the world of journalism, I did used to work as a makeup artist backstage at the Grand on the dancers. Yes, I had 1 hour to take 15 girls from State Street hussies to screen sirens. Every last one of them was mad about Lulu Brooks. Do you remember Lulu? Oh, goodness. Give me Lulu's lips, Lulu's hair. I tell you, I was terribly tempted to tell those girls that Lulu's favorite treat was toads, and they would have gobbled them up like chocolates. How cruel. I could never blame a soul for wanting to emulate such a choice bit of calico. I confess to you, and you alone, that I did try out that sharp little bob cut for myself once upon a time. Oh yes, dyed it raven black and everything, the works. Eyebrows too. Looked atrocious. Everyone is suited for their own particular sort of thing, I suppose. Lulu Brooks wouldn't dare go for red in 3 lifetimes, I can tell you that much. Now then, enough of me being a bitter little minx. Let's get down to business, shall we? I'm going to begin with a pair of hair clips. Your locks are gorgeous, if not unruly. So, we'll need to pin those back. As for them to not get in the way of me touching up your face, I'll just need to sweep back your bangs. Alright, your hair is feeling silky soft into the treatment lately. I see. It's worked wonders, I can tell you. Okay. Pinning back the other side. There we are. Now I have unrestricted access to that lovely little face of yours. Alright, darling, I'm going to begin with blush. I'm going to use crimson. I think this shade will work out for you flawlessly. It looks and smells precisely of cherries. Don't you think? It's lovely, right? A little bit goes a long way. It's quite pigmented. So just on my middle finger, picking up a small amount, spreading it over the rest, warming it up, getting it nice and smooth and blendable. Then going to smear that, starting at the apple of the cheek. Yes, just there, and then up the cheekbone. Perfect. Oh, what a gorgeous color on you. Then the other side. Ensuring that it's entirely even. I won't have you looking like a clown, I swear. Okay. Perfect. Let's touch up that lipstick. My favorite color as of late. You can see it on me now. Is this blood red? Shall we call it Charlie red for tonight? I think so. Has the loveliest shape, perfect for sculpting out a very chiseled baby doll silhouette on the lips. Alright, I'm going to start at the cupid's bow, creating a perfectly rounded shape. This is my specialty, you see. As soon as you peek into the mirror, you will understand. Okay. I am exceptionally skilled at creating a crisp, flawless edge. Yeah, go ahead and blot your lips together for me, will you? Like this. Perfect, and then finishing sweep. Gorgeous. And then for those eyes, we resorted to my trusty old Besame mascara. Lucky for you, this is the virgin run of this particular batch. Fresh brush. the mascara. Just going to work the water in with the brush until a delicate paste is created. And this is quite the multi-purpose product. It can be used for mascara, eyeliner, even brows if you've got the Lulu Brooks look. Right, there we are, darling. Perfect consistency to transform your lashes. There we go. Good, good, good. And if you could adjust your gaze slightly downward for me, that's perfect. Just going to come down from the top, counting every last lash from every last angle. And then the other side of it too. And then the other side as well. Then the other side as well, not neglecting a single look. Perfect. And then look up for me. Good. 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 Oh, absolutely gorgeous. It never ceases to amaze just what a difference lashes make. And as a finishing touch, what would you say to a bit of perfume? Well, first, let's ensure you're a fan. Have a whiff. Do you like it? It's quite warm and sweet. Vanilla, fresh, starting at your collarbone. Around to the side of the neck. Behind the ear. And then if you could just give me your wrist. Perfect. I know it does seem excessive, but I assure you it is entirely necessary to create a complete aura of sensual scent. And then just a spritz onto the chest. Good. Wonderful. Oh yes, you will find yourself to be entirely irresistible. If you intended on leaving this party alone, I can assure you, you will fail. Now then, it is time for a bit of harmless snooping, don't you think? Well, yes, the code room does tend to hold treasures untold. No one will suspect a thing. Yes, let's see what we can find sitting out around here, hidden in the pockets or purses, if we dare. Do we dare? I dare say we dare. Let's see if I have any other treasures hidden inside this clutch that could be of some use to you. Ah, well, that neck does appear to be decidedly barren. What would you say to a pearl and diamond choker? Oh, I would be happy for you to borrow it, of course. And simply return it upon our next meeting. I'm sure it won't be far off. Gladly. Alright, well, just need to move your hair out of the way, just off your neck. Alright. Then wrap this around the back where the clasp will meet to stay perfect. Yes, silver suits you lovely. This is such an enhancement to your gown for tonight. Just going to make sure that the clasp is secure. That won't be falling off at any point, no matter how daringly you dance. Gorgeous. Oh, that suits you marvelously. You might as well keep it. Right, let's see if there's anything else. Well, my switchblade eagerly waiting to make Charlie's acquaintance. No, I wouldn't dare. Oh, have I shown you my latest boy? Probably not. There he is. His name is Daniel. Precious, isn't he? Painfully dull, but that face makes up for it, wouldn't you say? Grace, I tell you, we are having some snow. It is 6 inches deep and lots deeper than that in some places. I am making Ma a calico dress today. Earl, Myrtle, and Bill. Earl, if Myrtle and Bill are not with you all, please send this card on to them, and all of you write us every time you can from now on. Love, Myrtle. Well then, quickly I'd say. Right here we have a lovely lady, classy choker, gorgeous updo, lovely off-the-shoulder pink gown. Here's to the girl I love, and here's to the girl who loves me, and here's to all those who love her, whom I love, and all those who love her, who loves me. Goodness gracious. Nothing else to say, thankfully. That was a mouthful and a half. Sent in all sincerity. New Year. I wish you well this New Year's Day and happiness through all life's way. That's pleasant. If lacking in drama and intrigue. Fair be thy course and happy be thy days. A joyous year to you. Wishes sincere, in friendship's name, for old time's sake, my New Year wish and greeting take. Gorgeous shade of green, I would love a gown in this shade. Don't you think that would just look the best with this hair? I think so. Well, that's sweet and all. Ooh, a business card of J.E. Sheffrey, breeder of Duroc Jersey swine. See, don't you think that locket of darling Daniel would frighten off Mr. Sheffrey? Surefire. Wouldn't want to do that, of course not. Quite the mustache on Mr. Surefire. Nothing else too juicy. Sheet music, let's see the lady in her. Do you ever think of me? Do you play? Really? Me? No, I'm too pretty. Latest Reader's Digest. Would your delicate nerves be at all soothed if I were to read to you for a while? More than happy to do so, if it suits you. I have been told I have quite the soothing tone of voice. Wonderful. I do love to read, and all the better with your company. I want to ensure that you are riveted by the subject. So would you mind selecting the title that you personally find most promising? Yes, go ahead, have a look. Certainly no shortage of options. You might as well enjoy it. Page 93. Let's find our way there. Here we are. Boredom may be the raw material of pleasure. Perfect for our night here, hidden in the code room, wouldn't you say? By William Moulton Marston. Most people spend at least a third of their lives being bored, and oddly, it is their so-called amusements that bore them more than work. Put 6 people together on a business task, bored by the pet subjects of the others. And why? Because most of us have not mastered the art of acquiring new interests. We have not learned to enjoy the variety of entertainments this world offers. Many men are utterly bored by wifely insistence that they look into shop windows. Mistakenly, they assume that the objective is to find something to buy. Women know better. Show windows, when you look into them with pleasure-seeking eyes, contain clues to many a mental adventure. A man who was particularly bored with art glared impatiently at a window display of Chinese paintings. Senseless things, he snorted, all out of proportion. His wife laughed and informed him that the Chinese idea of perspective is to draw objects as they look from above, like an airplane view, she said. That caught his interest. He began to study Chinese art and now is an amateur specialist in a subject that once irritated him. You can acquire new pleasures by deliberately substituting a distasteful activity for one you already enjoy. Suppose, for example, you like to travel around the golf course but cannot endure helping your wife garden. Resolve to give up golf for a few weeks and get your fun and exercise out of tilling the soil. The results will astonish you. The pursuit of rare plants becomes a never-ending exploration. There are beautiful shrubs and dwarf trees you can buy at any nursery, such as Chinese wisteria, Spanish broom, or Japanese cutleaf maple. But there are others, Cytheris reniformia, for example, a small plant with shining leaves and spikes of bright blue flowers that you have to pester collectors for, or raise from seed procured after months of persistent effort. Sometimes you may spot a rare seed in an obscure catalog, send for it, experiment, and eventually realize the true triumph of growing a flower that garden lovers will travel miles to see. You may make a pool, plant water lilies, photograph them from above, Chinese painting fashion, with sparkling drops of dew still on the petals, and win a prize for the best flower picture of the year, a recent accomplishment of one of my neighbors. That leads to new chains of interests: water plants, photography, color camera studies, even painting, thereby disclosing a talent you never knew was yours until garden enthusiasm stirred your creative desire. It really is pathetic how arbitrarily we stodgy humans close our minds against the unexplored joys of life, cut off a well-developed amusement interest, take on an activity you have assumed is boresome, and after you have tasted its flavor, you will find that your sum total of emotional riches has greatly increased. Parents too often permit themselves to be bored into irritability by children's questions, but if you open your mind to the questions that interest children, they introduce you to forgotten worlds of stimulating mental activity, and you'll find yourself embarked on a strenuous career of adult education. Who made God is an elementary query you must learn to answer before you can pass your first examination. Some general answer may satisfy. Your youngster asks more specific questions as, how do they mine salt? Or can a snail smell? You suddenly feel humble, inadequate. You have to say, I don't know, son, but we'll look it up tonight. Then you read a textbook or an encyclopedia and experience again the thrill of learning. When the children have long since forgotten their momentary interest, you will find yourself going on and on, exploring new realms of knowledge. There may be occasions when you find yourself in the attitude of a businessman who confessed to me that he hadn't read anything but the newspaper for years. He felt that he ought to concentrate night and day on his business problems, and every book he opened bored him. I convinced him that he must switch his attention from business to other interests for the sake of mental health. He began to read economics at first, then biography and fiction. He has developed a dozen new interests as a result of his reading, and has recovered his youthful animation, which he thought was lost forever. A needless limitation from which many people suffer is their unwillingness to listen to what others say. I've always wanted to know things, a woman told me, but when I ask some expert to explain, I get so bored with this explanation that I can't listen. She was offended when I said that listening bores her because she wants to do all the talking herself. Hers was a common fault. To cure it, you need only realize that listening open-mindedly is the most intelligent form of asserting your own superiority. Get the feeling of being a critic, a collector of new ideas. Then you will enjoy the listening more than the talking. A cause of boredom closely related to anti-listening is machine shyness. It is amazing how many men and women drive motor cars, yet when anything goes wrong, they just take the car to the service station and stand around killing time while it is being repaired. They cannot understand, and so are bored by mechanical principles which can be mastered by an intelligent boy of 14. We accept the results, by far the least entertaining aspect of science, unquestioningly, and leave the major amusement to tinkering children and technicians. Yet suppose you decided to listen actively to the technicians. Your oil heater goes wrong and the expert comes to repair your thermostat. Ask him to explain the principle of expanding and contracting metal. Show you the mechanism of the clock which turns off your furnace at any hour you elect. He may use a lot of terms you do not know the meaning of. Stop him. Ask him to translate his talk into your language. He'll love it. There never was a genuine mechanic who did not get a thrill out of explaining. Don't feel ashamed of your ignorance. It's better to be embarrassed than bored. When you've made someone initiate you into the mysteries of his scientific subject, you will discover with pleasant surprise that you can think easily along those lines. For you, thereafter, the bugaboo of scientific mystery is dissipated, and new fields of productive mental pleasure lie ready for cultivation. Interest feeds on itself. All you need is a taste of new knowledge to whet your desire for more. Happiness is not a picture which can be painted with a few bold, sweeping strokes. It is rather a delicately wrought mosaic, whose intricate pattern is composed of many small pleasures and interests. The people who get real joy out of living are those who continually manufacture little harmonious pleasure pieces of experience. Every boredom is the raw material of pleasure. The only manufacturing equipment you need is an ever-ready desire which is yours for the taking. You have to live with other people, share their activities. You might as well enjoy it. Well, that was an excellent selection. You might as well enjoy it.